But we also have news today that, look at this, Levites tune up for the third temple. Brings us to Israel365.com. Levites tune up for the third temple. And there's video listening, friends. There's video of these men dressed with their robes and their vests and their belts and their hats, and they are singing unto God. And they are the Levites that are going to be singing this choir in the temple, the third temple. Now, we've shown video of them a few weeks ago rehearsing in their normal street clothes in a building. But now here they are in their Levitical robes, and they're getting ready. So we add this, Dr. Lindstedt, to the fact that there's also more news today on the red heifers. What do you have?
Well, there's an interesting clip that was released, and because there's a number of people that say, okay, there's really no red heifers. I'm sure Aaron's heard this, and so it's ridiculous. We didn't invent them.
So let me just stop right there. Are you saying that people are saying that the red heifers are kind of like a conspiracy theory, like Bigfoot?
Yeah, no, they really say it's a conspiracy theory. And so, we didn't invent them. I'm looking for Jesus to come. But I believe that there's indicators that we're living in the last days. And one of those that's so clear is the book of Hosea, chapter 3, verses 4 and 5. It talks about in the end days, it would be a long time without a sacrifice, without a priest, without an ephod. But in the last days, these things will return. And so what we're reporting is that, yes, there is an excitement about seeing the third temple come to pass. And I believe that the animals that are there are that way. So I sent you 3 or 4 clips out of about a 30-minute program.
Oh, did you? All right.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a highlight, but the reason I like this particular clip is because it's done in such a way that you can see the animals. You can see people with the animals. There's no doubt they're in Israel. Matter of fact, anyone who's been to Israel, you'll recognize the background. It's Shiloh.
All right, let me go to the first one, and I'll explain it, because I'm seeing these for the first time. I'll explain it to the listening audience so they don't feel left out.
Okay, so this is actually from a day ago, and you'll see a man, and he's leading a goat. And he was on his way to try to sacrifice this.
Wait a minute. For the listening friends, he's walking down the street with a goat like he's walking a dog. He looks pretty orthodox. His way he's got his beard and braids and all. And so he's walking down the street with a goat like he's walking a dog on the sidewalk. Where's he headed with this goat?
Yeah, he said he thinks he's going to go up to the Temple Mount, and obviously he didn't make it. And he wasn't the only one that went up there. There's another clip I think I sent you last week, and someone actually tried to take a lamb and offer it at Al-Aqsa Mosque, and they said if they could do that, someone would pay them $50,000. What I'm saying is, here's a number of people that are really intent on welcoming the Messiah, and so there's some who say, okay, this will help welcome the Messiah because they see that people are ready for the return of the Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think there's another thing that we learn from some of these videos, and when we start to play the 3 that are inside the actual pen, you'll see the red heifers, you'll see the cows. There they are, and so that doesn't look made up, does it?
No.
And notice the color, and
there's all 5 of them. We had talked before. Yeah. I thought they were keeping these girls separated, but they're not.
Well, they've got them together now, and there's one that has some black hair in her ear, so she's been eliminated. But there's 4 candidates, and they will use the one with the black hair in her ear for breeding purposes. But these are I would call them Red Angus, and they came from
Texas.
Texas, yeah. And she goes through the fact that they're pets, and what's incredible is that they were delivered to Israel in such a time when COVID made it so that they never got ear tags, because that would have put a blemish on them. And
whoa! Now, isn't that interesting? Let's stop there. We often talk about how the sinful God can use the sinful choices of man to accomplish his purpose. And with all the evil of COVID, here we go. These red heifers didn't get a tag in their ear during COVID. I guess inspections and stuff stopped and were shut down for a while, which preserved them for being shipped to Israel. Otherwise, they would have been disqualified, never made it out of Texas.
Yeah, that's right. And to make sure that they don't get a blemish or something like that, they really are encouraging people not to protect them. They're going to set up a viewing place so you can view them. And,
are you telling me they're going to put a camera? When you say viewing, do you mean you're going to put up a camera where we can all watch them?
Yeah. That appears to be the plan. I mean, I don't know the details of it, but in this video they talk about that. Aaron may know more about that than I do, but they're trying to protect them in every way. They don't want people to handle them because you might scratch them or whatever. But I think another thing that I found very interesting was even the feed trough. They put a rubber coating around it so that they don't cut themselves or scratch themselves as they push each other back and forth for food. So they're being pampered, and they want to make sure that they're there. They say they need to be an adult, and so they're at the right age, and there's at least 4 of them that have met the conditions. And this lady verified the fact of a friend of ours, an acquaintance of ours, who actually is the one in Texas who provided the red heifers, and they were flown over there as pets because they couldn't get them in any other way. But you could take.
So they classified them as pets. They classified them as pets so they could get them over there.
Yeah, but if you see them, they're being spoiled, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
To see that. Well, but here's the thing that was interesting to me. She said, as much controversy as there is about it, conspiracy theory and all this, she said, we're really hoping to bring the world together in terms of prayer, in terms of, they're not even she's not even trying to remove the dome of the rock. But I think of the verse in Ezekiel says, "Never you're off from the profane place," and that's where the new sacrifice will be. So I place the place where the sacrifice will be on the Temple Mount. I think it probably will be constructed with stones and a pile of wood. But it looks like there are people that are definitely moving this direction. And I can't tell you what's going to occur because I'm not in the charge of the project. I just look at it, and what I see is that, wow, it's a tremendous fulfillment of what the Bible says will be in the last days in terms of people wanting peace. But really, as they search for peace, I wonder if they're not bringing confrontation, because this is a great way. If the Antichrist can come and say, hey, I'm going to let you sacrifice, I think the Jews would be so excited. Let's sign a peace treaty, only have the Antichrist trick them.
Wow. Hold right there. Dr. Rob Lindstedt.